Sabbath Rest by Nameless Saint. Bill Wilson was a titan of industry, a man whose name was synonymous with success. For years, his life revolved around board meetings, stock markets, and the relentless pursuit of wealth. His office, perched atop a gleaming skyscraper, was his kingdom, and the demands of his empire kept him imprisoned in a cycle of constant motion. But amidst the clamor of financial triumphs, Bill felt an unsettling void. A profound absence that even the greatest fortunes couldn't fill. Bill's days were consumed by strategy and deals, leaving little room for anything beyond the tangible. As he climbed higher on the ladder of success, he left behind a simple truth he had once cherished: the importance of rest and renewal in the presence of God. The rhythm of his life had become a relentless march, and the concept of a Sabbath seemed distant and unattainable. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Bill found himself alone in his opulent office, staring at a panoramic cityscape that seemed more like a cage than a view. His eyes fell upon a small, dusty Bible he had kept on a shelf, an artifact from a simpler time when faith had been more than a memory. Curious and weary, he picked it up and opened it. The pages whispered a promise of peace, a call to pause and reflect, to rest on the seventh day and reconnect with God. Driven by an impulse he couldn't quite explain, Bill decided to visit a small, old church he had passed countless times but never entered. The church was modest, its simplicity a stark contrast to the grandeur of his usual surroundings. He entered tentatively, the quiet and the scent of old wood enveloping him in a serene embrace. As the congregation sang hymns and prayed, Bill was struck by the sincerity and warmth of their worship. It wasn't about grandeur or wealth. It was about a genuine connection with God. For the first time in years, Bill allowed himself to be still, to listen and to worship in spirit and truth. The peace he felt was profound. The heaviness of his ambitions and anxieties seemed to dissolve in the presence of God. The rest he had long forgotten returned, not as an escape from his responsibilities, but as a renewal of his soul. He understood now that true rest was not found in ceaseless activity or material gain, but in the presence of the divine, where joy and peace flowed freely. From that moment, Bill made a conscious choice. He would dedicate his seventh day to worship and reflection, setting aside time to rest in the presence of God. His life didn't slow down completely, but he approached his work with a newfound sense of balance and purpose. His success continued, but it was now accompanied by a profound sense of peace and fulfillment that he had never known before. Bill Wilson's journey was a reminder that no amount of wealth or power could replace the tranquility and joy found in spiritual rest. In honoring the Sabbath, he discovered that true richness lay not in what he possessed, but in the serenity and connection he experienced in the presence of God.